like some crazy conversions.
Yeah, man. Now that we're talking about this, I think that's the move. Like I wouldn't necessarily use the explicit wording to like put too fine a point on it, but I think that the profile I'm going for is like affluent, successful professionals. And I would say the age bracket is like the 25 to 45 age bracket. Like, because what I'm really finding is like Christian and I were talking about this, and we were talking about some of these. So there's this events company. It's called Teatro, and like a lot of these MOA guys, they're like big into these Teatro events, and it's cool. Like I have a lot of respect for the guy who kind of built this up. But I go there and it's just like a lot of these, it's like super influencery, right? And when I look at them, just like these chicks are just kind of like Instagram hot. Like when you get up close and personal with them, it's like, I don't know. You just look great with filters, right? And it's like when we look at the quality of the people that we're starting to bring into our mixers, just like 5 events in, we're like, I think we've already got these fuckers beat.
Yeah.
And it's like, and if like the more that we optimize and the more that we focus on the demographic that's actually interesting to us, it's just such a higher quality demographic than these like, red carpet events that are filled with OnlyFans chicks, right?
Dude, I was just thinking about that, and I noticed this in my life too, man. And this is the exact point that I've been trying to get across for a long time. So it's good you brought it up so that I can get it out of my head here. A lot of the time, the bikini model girls, when you, like you said, get up really close, and if you really observe the characteristics, refund gap down the middle,
Mm-hmm.
the one lip is a little bit bigger than the, like a little
Yeah.
wonky, right? She's not actually hot, but
Yeah.
we think she is because of the way she's presenting herself,
Exactly.
right? Like the way she's presenting herself, we're like, oh, she's hot. But in reality, there's women in my circle, there's women that I date, that I hang out with, that do not wear flattering clothing. They've toned it down on the makeup. They're maybe a little nerdy or a little goofy or a little
Mm-hmm.
tomboy. Like one of my girls that I'm seeing right now is like super tomboyish, like
Yeah.
from upstate New York, moved to Charlotte for a medical sales job, doesn't have a lot of friends, like all these crazy things.
Yeah.
Um, you in certain instances, like stuff she's wearing, I'm like, she doesn't seem hot. Like she's like in this, the way she's presenting herself, she's not hot. But dude, if you were to fucking go full out on the makeup, put her in a bikini, put her in the high heels, put her on this, you'd be like, wow, that is a fucking nine.
Bro.
So it's like
Yeah.
these nines and stuff, like eights, not like they're walking around, but they're not presenting themselves in the way that you would expect. And so, man, like the bikini competition stuff, like start zooming in really close on all that, and you'll
It's
see that like
not
they're not
It's not
they're,
fucking impressive, dude.
they're not
It
that
like
hot,
it,
bro.
that was the thing that I got super suspicious about from the very beginning. And it's funny, that thing you just described, there was this article I read. I don't know if you've heard of this guy named Chase Amante, but he writes about like male female dynamics, and he's been in like the game. He was never like a pickup artist, but he is adjacent to that.
Yeah, like
Um,
just a psychology guy or something.
and he's like an operator, right? He's like an actual, I guess you'd call him like a seduction coach. But he wrote this recent, it was like one of his more recent articles where he was kind of going hard on the paint with that whole scene, like that kind of red pill adjacent kind of MOA-ish Michael Sartain scene. And he kind of broke things down pretty brutally. And he's kind of got the street cred to prove it, right? And he's like, all these guys that are saying like, oh, you got to build social circle around like Instagram models and photo shoots and like IG chicks and everything. When you actually look under the hood of the results that they're actually showing, it's not that impressive, bro. And
Yeah.
he was even like digging into, let's actually look at the physical quality of people who like Andrew Tate and Michael Sartain and like even Dan Bilzerian are dating. He's like, look closely at the women. Like actually look at them.
Mm,
And he's like kind of mid,
yeah.
kind of a 6.5. And he's like, I made my whole he's like, I cut my teeth and like really figured out like the ones to go for were the girls who were a little more demure. a little less flashy. Maybe they like aren't super stylish or super provocative in their clothing. They probably don't have much of a social media presence,
Right.
but they're the truly beautiful ones, and they have all the indicators of a good long-term girlfriend too.
Exactly. Yeah,
And he's
exactly.
like, look, he's like, I get it. I try to stay on top of social media and everything because it's 2024, 2025. What I'm seeing from like these manosphere dudes is not that impressive to me. Like the
Yeah.
actual results when you look closely, not impressive, guys. And like when I read that and I was like, it clicked, and I'm like, yes, like that's the thing. When you actually get up close and personal, you're like, this is not the baddie that IG filters would have you believe that she is, right? So
100%.
yeah, it's funny, man.
Yeah. Oh man. I'm sure